Hey everybody, it's your old pal Steve from Run More here, the owner of this fabulous brick and mortar running shop located in Westminster, Maryland. Today we wanted to take some time and go through the fit, the feel, and the function of the newest lineup from Brooks this fall. We're going to go through each shoe, sort of the intended purpose of it, sort of how it fits size-wise, and the best applications to use it. We wanted to kind of start this off with the lightest shoes, maybe the sportiest and raciest shoes, and go all the way to some of the more high-performance shoes. And there's obviously a bunch of other models that we're not going to cover, but these were the most popular shoes out there, the ones that we carry here in our shop. And before everyone yells at us in the comments of like, well, I could run 100 miles in a lightweight trainer, I get it. I know you can. I'm super happy for you. But I'm just going to go through the average, what we expect from these shoes for the most average customers that come in the store and ask us what we think of these shoes. So before we get into this, if you want to do me a solid and like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, it's an easy, fun, free way to support the shop. And if you wanted another way to support the shop, we'll have a link down below to these fine products. And if you enter promo code RUNMORE, you'll save 10% at checkout. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to start with the Brooks HYPERION because I've been holding it for a while. This is the HYPERION 2 GTS version. They make the Brooks HYPERION 2 in a stable and a non-stable version, but they both are that nice, fast-paced, tempo-y shoe. Really, I would think for most customers out there, we tell people like, 10 miles and under is what we kind of suggest for this level of cushion. Of all the shoes we're going to talk about, this has the least amount of stack height. It also is the slimmest fit of them. So really that's why I also use this as more of a workout shoe, or like if I want to just go do like a fast tempo, we want run around town. I love this shoe for this. And really one of the shoes we talk about for like a great value. This is a tremendous value shoe. If you really just wanted to have one sort of faster shoe to do all your miles in under like 8 to 10, if you just wanted a shoe to do 3, 4, 5 miles, maybe do a 5K here and there, it's a fantastic shoe and you're not going to do much better, especially because they have a stable and a non-stable version. Moving up next is the Brooks Ghost 16. Everybody's had a Ghost at some point, we always feel like. If you're a runner of any type of length, you've probably put a Ghost on at some point. And I think one of the things that we love about the Ghost here, it's always sized so perfectly. This is like one of those always feels very true that we know for some reason our sizing machine is down, or we have a new staff, or honestly, what I use this for a lot when people come in here to try orthotics on, they want to try a pair of super feet, for example, and they came in barefoot or they came in wearing like shoes that they can't really try them on, as I'll say, let's get you a Brooks Ghost because this is a perfect neutrally fit shoe that's going to be perfect true to size. So we use this in that sort of application all the time. Now, this shoe is your everyday trainer. It doesn't have any stability to it. It doesn't have any crazy bells and whistles. This is I can run up to a half marathon in. If I'm training for something that's a little bit longer, this is a great shoe that you can do your everyday junk miles in. And really, you could go up and run in this shoe for your race. You could use this shoe for your long distance runs if you're training for a half and you're doing an 8-mile run or something on a Sunday. Nothing wrong with this shoe. Again, another great price point shoe that you can do a lot of stuff in. We have people that use this for gym stuff. We have people that use this for work. The Ghost, it's been everywhere and it's great. Up next is the companion shoe, the Brooks Adrenaline 24, that is new to this fall. This is a little bit wider and a little bit more stable version than the Ghost. So they both are in that same mid-cushion everyday range that we would say you can train up to maybe a half marathon on, or if you were doing that, 20, 25 miles a week of training. This is an awesome shoe. It has stability to it. It's great if you're pronating, if you're supinating, you got the support system to it, and this new update adds a ton of cushion to it. Might not be the most stable shoe out there in that mid-cushion category, but if you're somebody who just needs a little bit of motion control, the Brooks Adrenaline 24 is a fantastic option. Again, a little more width through the midsection for stability. It's got the guide rails. It's got a little bit wider fit than the Ghost, a little bit more depth to it, so you could add a custom orthotic to it if and you needed to. Up next, now we're getting into our little higher cushion level. So I always feel like the GLYCERIN is the Cadillac of cushion. We used to call it the Cadillac of cushion for Brooks. This is like I'm training for longer stuff, or I just prefer much more cushion underfoot. We've added a couple bucks. This is $160. It also comes in a standard and a GTS version, depending if you need the support to it, with the GTS being the supported version to it. This also has that DNA Loft version 3 midsole, so this is a nitrogen infused midsole. I think one of the things that always throws people, and myself too, is when you look at it compared to other shoes in this max cushion category, it doesn't look overly shoey. There's a lot of stuff out there that's so big and so cushioned. This was the first of those big 3 Brooks shoes that got that DNA Loft midsole version 3, the nitrogen infused one, but it never got oversized, which I think I always liked about this shoe. It's one of those sneaky cushion shoes. But if you're looking for that like awesome, fun Sunday shoe to do your long miles, but then I can also do some junk miles in, and I could run a full marathon in and feel like I took care of my feet, the GLYCERIN's an awesome option out there for you. And now we're going to go into two newer shoes from Brooks. We're going to start with the Ghost Max 2. This is, to me, this was Brooks' first glidey shoe. This was kind of going after some of the other shoes that we carry on the wall. This was a much different drop for Brooks. Everything else that we've talked about is a traditional high drop shoe. This was a 6mm shoe, has a much wider base to it, much more sort of a straight last option. It doesn't come in a neutral and stable option. It only comes in the Ghost Max, but they're sort of calling it, it's on the cusp of a neutral stable shoe with this wider base to it. It's also very light, and you compare it to some of the other shoes on here, it looks much bigger, it's much wider, it's got much more cushion, but it doesn't weigh any more to it. I don't think I would race in this shoe, but if I just wanted that friend for my my LSD Sunday runs, like, I love the Ghost Max. It's nice, it's smooth, it's light. It just has that really efficient feel to it. And the fact that it does have more straight lasty to it, because I don't like to necessarily wear a stable shoe, but sometimes I need a little bit more than a neutral. I think the Ghost Max fills that perfectly. It has been one of our more popular Brooks shoes that's new out there, and I think some of the additions on the colors that they've done, and even like different lace patterns and stuff, makes this shoe popular for people using it as a casual shoe as well as a running shoe. And I think part of that is that 6mm drop makes it feel much more natural than some of the other shoes in that Brooks family. So now moving up to the newest big boy on the block, this is the GLYCERIN Max. So this is a $200 trainer, and this is that 6mm drop that we just talked about with the Ghost Max. Also has more of a straight lasty vibe to it. Also only comes in one option, no stable, no neutral, just the GLYCERIN Max. If we're looking at this as your Sunday long slow distance companion shoe, this might be your Sunday I want to go fast Ricky Bobby shoe. It has that big high cushion. It has that glide to it, but in a much faster way. It has much more depth of cushion to it. It feels so much faster off foot. One of the reasons why is this has a much more performance midsole to it, with different density layers, so a little bit softer through the heel and gets firmer as you're toeing off to give you a little more explosive feel as you're going through it. This shoe, unlike maybe the Ghost Max or even GLYCERIN, I could do faster stuff in and I could do longer stuff. So this is, while it is the most expensive of the group, if I was only going to buy one pair of Brooks shoes that I would do everything in, it probably would be this shoe. It fits a little bit wide, sort of when you look at it, but just the only of these shoes that we talked about, at least for me, that it took me a little bit of runs in to get it to feel comfortable. I had a little bit of rubbing issue along my inside of my foot, and I had some other people that said a similar thing, but once you get a run or two or three in it, I think once that loosens up a pinch, it feels great. I had no issues with my bunions in it, and again, I was doing fast stuff, long stuff, just happy stuff. It became the shoe that I was pulling in my rotation on the road above everything else, so I was very happy with it. Anyway, that's the fall lineup for the new Brooks stuff this year in 2024. And obviously there's other models out there from Brooks, but these are the ones that we're carrying in shop. So hey, if you're walking down the street and you want to come in and see your friends at Run More, these are some of the options that you're going to have here from the Brooks lineup. If you wanted to buy any of these shoes, again, we'll have a link down below, and if you enter promo code RUNMORE, you'll save 10% and we'll ship it out for free. And if you're in the greater Westminster, Maryland area, and why wouldn't you be, stop on by and say hello. There's a good chance you'll catch me while I'm here. Happy days, happy running, and hopefully we'll see you around town. Thanks for watching.